Our four-way inspection went great.
Let's just say we did not pass.
But even though we have a ton of things to fix,
This is a terrible idea.
we're doing what we can to continue making progress.
Ballet West, now starring Trent and Brandon.
Hurt my groin.
It's a day of curveballs
It's a good thing that I always pull people out and help them because today is my turn.
and mountain magic.
If that's not love, I don't know what is.
And we're loving every minute of it.
Trent just said separate it like a sandwich because for him, it's always about food.
What else is there?
I saw you down the motorway. There was something about you that day. I can still hear the shimmering sound. The hill is near, let's get right up. Walk up to the very top. We couldn't tell the sky from the ground. I know my life will never be the same after.
What's up, guys, and good morning. We are up here in our winter wonderland. If you guys hadn't guessed, there's still more snow piling up. I think this week we're actually supposed to get like another 1 to 2 feet up here, which is no big surprise to us, even though last week it was getting warm and starting to melt and we were dealing with slush and runoff. Now things are frozen and the snow is back. So that will most likely be a reoccurring premise for the next couple months, but we're prepared for it. If you guys caught our last video, you guys probably saw that we had our four-way inspection. And let's just say we did not pass. But we did get a conditional pass to insulate the walls of the lower portion of the garage. The inspector has some questions about the framing that took place up in the casita, and we're gonna have to have basically my architect and structural engineer satisfy those questions that he has, so we can't insulate up there. But we do have a punch list of things to do, and we can insulate now. So we're running down to Home Depot, we're meeting Brandon there, we're picking up some insulation because it is cold.
Now, I am not a morning person. I think I've made this pretty clear before. Trent, I don't really think is a morning person either, but for some reason, every day of our relationship, the last 6 years, he wakes up and makes me coffee every single morning. It is so unbelievably appreciated. We're out of milk this morning, so we couldn't make coffee at the house. So we got some Starbucks, but it just goes to show, like, if that's not love, I don't know what is. What's up? Stuck.
Don't fall. Steady.
We made it.
All right, so we've got a little bit of a punch list for things to do in the garage before we can call for re-inspection. A bunch of those things actually Dean has to come back and do, so I'm excited about that because we get to have Dean come back. But we're gonna go in here, we gotta grab a couple odds and ends, and then we've had Brandon meet us here at Home Depot because just like when we were doing the house, we're both gonna load our trucks like bales of hay to the sky with insulation and then drive it up to our house.
It's snowing.
Yeah.
It's not gonna, okay. This will be interesting.
That was reserved for somebody else.
Yeah. You think that whole pallet could fit on the bed of your truck?
Oh yeah.
Couple of tie downs.
That's 24.
Oh, nice.
That's more than half of what we need right there.
Perfect. Definitely could have gone much worse when the inspector came for our four-way. There were a lot of things that he called us on that are going to take some very intense effort to fix or update or correct, however you want to frame it. And hopefully we can make a little bit of progress to get some of the stuff in the garage put back in place and reorganized so that we can use that space again to work in multiple ways. You guys think if I buy some plants and like get some springtimey stuff, it'll help the snow melt faster?
Couldn't hurt.
Couldn't hurt.
Yeah, are you guys good? You guys get a pallet of insulation. for us?
You know what size?
Yeah, it's like the Thermafiber R21. These, that, and
There's two separate. Whoa.
okay. It's kind of funny that that's really only like a third of the insulation that we need for the entire garage.
Wow.
And it's just a garage.
Yeah.
It's not even like a giant house or anything. Like, if you build like a 10,000 square foot mansion, like, do you just have to have semi-trucks of insulation show up to get it insulated? Like, it's freaking wild.
There was a foreclosed on mansion for sale a few months ago, kind of like, not in our neighborhood, but like a few neighborhoods away. And it was like 20 acres, 18 bedroom mansion that had started being built in 2017. There was a guest house. It was like enormous. It was framed in and dried in with windows and doors, but it was like starting to fall apart because I think they just ran out of money after they started building it. And we were debating like, how cool would it be to take this over and turn it into an event center or a cool retreat center? And then we started thinking about how much work and how many supplies it would take and how much money it would cost, not even just to build, but to maintain something like that. We were like, no thank you.
That would be a lot of insulation.
Yeah.
And even after that, it would probably cost like thousands of dollars a month just to heat that place.
Right. Nobody needs
crazy.
that. Oh my gosh. This is a terrible idea. Awesome, thank you guys. Thanks.
I don't know if I have enough straps.
Seriously. Woo. Yeah. This is the worst day to be doing this.
Oh, it's the best day. It'll just, if the stuff falls out, it'll just slide on the snow. Probably not going anywhere.
We're about to find out.
Want to do another set of straps?
You should if you haven't.
Could be better, could be worse. I'm happy with it.
Tides are strong back there. This boat is rocking.
Hopefully it's not super windy. That could make this really bad. The thing is,
see
like,
how much the truck collapsed when he put the pallet down fully?
oh yeah, there's a lot of weight back there. There's 24 packages of bat insulation, and that insulation is not light. It's not like fiberglass.
Yeah.
It's mineral wool, so it's basically like fabricized rocks. It's like spun rocks.
Less toxic.
Way less toxic.
Much better.
It's fireproof, it's water resistant, it's mold resistant. It's like the best insulation. As long as it doesn't fall off your truck. The good news is it has stopped snowing, so there's not like fresh snow falling on the insulation, which is like one of the downsides that was going to be happening today. So that's a huge plus. We're almost home. The insulation is
The Leaning Tower of Pisa.
It's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's leaning around, it's tilting, it's wobbling, but it's staying put for the most part, so I'm happy about that. We're about to roll up here, and then it's going to be pretty strenuous to unload all of this. Oh no!
No! Oh no! We just had to say something. Look how close we are to our house though. At least we're right there. Not ideal, guys.
Well, it's a good thing that I always pull people out and help them because today is my turn.
Just looks so ridiculous. What's the process here?
Process is get unstuck.
There he goes. Oh boy. Oh, don't let Brandon get stuck. Woo! Oh boy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well done. Very nice. All right, we made it.
Now the work begins.
Very interested to see how this is going to be possible.
All right, so there's 4 pieces, there's 4 bags in each row.
Okay.
And those bags are compressed by heavy plastic. And then there's 6 of those 4 packs that are wrapped in saran wrap. So I'm gonna cut the saran wrap off, hopefully they don't explode. And then I'm gonna probably try and push one of these 4 packs down here and cut it so that we can take 4 pieces in. And then I think to save like the time of just, you know, moving them 10 different times, we're just gonna bring 1 package in, put it in the walls, bring another package in, put it in the walls.
It'll be really fast.
And hopefully it'll be really fast. Burn hole.
This time I know we're really through. But I'm never giving up on you.
Piece that will go on top of the drywall can kind of compress in there.
I don't think we caught that on camera, but Trent just said separate it like a sandwich because for him, it's always about food.
What else is that? Separate it like a stack of money?
No, all about sandwiches.
Yeah.
We just did this whole first section and it took like less than 10 minutes. I love stuff like this where it's super transformative, it makes a big visual impact, and it's not that hard. Yeah, we got the heat off, the door open. It's like maybe almost 40 degrees. It's a warm day. Spring right here.
So not only is this mineral wool far superior to fiberglass insulation in many, many ways, but the one thing that is like my favorite about it is that it's friction fit. It doesn't have like a paper backing or a plastic backing that you have to like nail or staple to the studs to hold the insulation where it's at. It's firm and it's like cut to the perfect size and shape that it just fits in between the studs. You push it into place and you're done. It's like best part of the installation. really interesting, or it's fascinating, that as soon as you get all the insulation in, it just starts to dampen and deaden all of the sound. It starts to feel like a studio, like your recording studio, because the insulation just absorbs any reverberation of sound. You know, we've only been home from Home Depot for like an hour and a half, and there's a lot done.
Yeah.
Mineral wool has particles, and it's not as bad as fiberglass. It's not as itchy or as toxic or things like that. But if you don't wear a mask and you don't wear gloves and stuff like that, it does become like very irritating. It's not that bad when you're just taking full bats and sticking them in the wall. But once you have to start cutting this stuff and like tearing it, it just like puts these like big plumes of particles into the air, and it like covers you, and it is very aggravating. We're excited to have an insulated garage. The insulating process is not too exciting, but we are, I'd say probably about 60-70% of the way done, maybe 80. We got to do like the top section on 1.5 walls back there, and then the garage door wall. So it's coming along nicely.
I just absolutely love days like this where we can get so much done. It feels so good to be productive, to work hard, to build up some heat in your body, and be able to see the transformation actually take place in front of your eyes. A lot of times, like, I don't know, plumbing can be a little tedious, electrical can be a little tedious. Framing I love because it's like immediately satisfying. Insulation is one of those things that's also very satisfying. They're almost done. We're like very close to the end. I'm starting to clean up, get rid of all the extra insulation, and I think today we'll basically have gotten 100% of what we are allowed to do done.
All right, so we have 2 little skinny bays over there to fill with insulation, and then all of these bays were like 50 inches or something. So we have to go put little slivers of insulation to fill all the gaps. Then we'll be able to rearrange the garage and put things back to how they were, so we have space to work and move and all kinds of stuff.
It's getting close.
Very exciting day.
We've been working very hard all day long. It's gone very, very well, very quickly, very smoothly. But I must say, all this talk about shoving things as if they were sandwiches or sandwich stuffing has made me super hungry. I would love a chicken parm sub. That's like all I can think about. We do not have the ingredients for that, but that sounds absolutely amazing.
We could go get the stuff to make it, but we could also just go get food, and then we could eat way sooner.
We could go get a chicken parm sub, that's true.
We could, but we still got a lot of work to do.
Oh, really? I thought we were almost done.
No, we've got to rearrange the entire garage.
Oh, that's the fun part. That's fine. That's
Yeah,
not work.
It's going to take some time.
That's not work. That's fun.
We are officially done inserting insulation into the walls in the main part of the garage.
I set out on a road that I built with my own 2 hands. I met friends on the way, people chosen to make a stand. I felt strong in the sun as I walked up to
The ballerinas return. Ballet West, now starring Trent and Brandon.
I'm not doing that. It hurt my groin.
Self-forgiveness together is spaces in between.
Well, we can do that tomorrow then. That's perfect.
Yeah. Tomorrow will be another day. We got all of the walls of the main part of the garage insulated, which is amazing. Like literally, we just have to spray foam the roof and the ceiling in the casita, and then put like rock wool bats that go in between the trusses to like insulate the floor here. But those are special order. They don't like sell those at Home Depot.
Oh, really?
So I'm gonna have to like order them on the website, and then just a million bags will show up one day. But then we can, like the way that these get friction fit in between the studs, I think that the bats will actually friction fit into the rafters. So maybe we can get those stuck up there before we sheetrock, and and then we can actually have an insulated space that we can heat.
Nice.
We'll quit blowing through our propane. It'll be nice in here.
And it got hot so quickly when we turned the furnace back on this afternoon.
Yeah, it's making a huge difference already.
It's already almost 50 degrees in here. It was 37 like 10 minutes ago.
I can't wait until, like, you know, all the heat doesn't just go up to the casita.
I know.
Because that's the thing is, right now if you went upstairs, you'd be like, okay, it's hot, turn it off.
Yeah.
Like all the heat just goes straight up there. So like once we can actually stop the heat from going up, we'll be in business. Anyway, I think this is where we're gonna call it a day. See you guys in the morning.
Oh, it's coming down out here, Lika girl.
Under the palm trees in the California sun, sand underneath our feet, the morning's just begun. I don't remember much from the night before, just from that human touch, and now I want more.
All right, so we got to work a little bit early today. We started moving all of the stuff that we had moved away from the walls, our like giant stack of cardboard boxes that was for the Toyota. We put one of our red racks from the basement over here so that we could kind of organize a lot of the parts. We've stacked everything up in that corner, tried to move everything out of the regular working space of our garage, because now that we have the walls insulated, we don't have to move all of this stuff away until we do drywall, which most likely won't be for a while. I think today, after we got done moving all of that stuff, the idea was that we were gonna start trying to tackle our punch list. So without further ado, I think we'll probably head upstairs and start knocking out the punch list.
Coffee in hand.
So there's probably about 10 to 15 different things that the inspector called when he came and did our four-way inspection, and some of them are a little extensive, some of them are expensive, and some of them are just tedious. So right now I'm gonna be capping this water line, which is something he didn't call for the inspection, but he did call our shower blocking. So we're gonna be doing shower blocking down here at the base of the shower. I've got to duct our fart fan or our exhaust fan for the bathroom. I have to redo the exhaust for the water heater. He wants us to redesign the framing plans through an architect and a structural engineer, because there's things that differed from how we built this, from how it was designed in the plans. And the reason for that is because the truss manufacturer actually told us to do something different. So we've got some hoops to jump through, and we're gonna get started.
Little by little, piece by piece, I take back what's been stolen from me. Little by little, piece by piece, until I'm complete.
I got the exhaust fan installed. They're really easy to install. I got it set up in there, I got it wired, and then I went to throw the ducting to stub it out of the building, which is what the inspector actually wants, is the actual ducting. And let's just say I need a couple fittings. I thought that the output of the fan would be above the rafters and that it would just shoot straight out the side of the building. Not the case. It runs directly into the rafter. I didn't get any of the like adjustable elbows to like kick it up to go above the rafters. So I'm gonna need an elbow to kick it up and an elbow to kick it back down flat before I can send it out of the building. So I gotta get those 2 elbows before I can finish that project. But we got all of our nail plates put on all of our plumbing. Brandon got all of the blocking put in for our shower pan blocking. Now I've got to extend this platform out for the water heater. Dean's got to come up here and do a couple of things with the drain system. So we've got a handful of things left to do. This is not going to be a 1 or 2 day job. It's probably going to take us about a week to get through this punch list. But now we're going to start working on this platform so we can extend it out to the 30 inches that's required by code. Probably isn't the strongest way to do this, but when you've got to extend a platform 2.5 inches, probably doesn't need to be that strong anyways.
Under your wing, everything is alright. Nothing ever will be quite the same.
So janky.
So janky.
And I wouldn't say
Pretty strong. It's definitely floor space here, but that's about it. Take our daily field trip to the Home Depot. Go and get as many of these parts as we can. Some of the stuff we might have to get from Ferguson. I'm not sure, but it's just right down the street. So we're gonna run and get basically all of the rest of the parts that we need to finish the punch list that the inspector gave us.
Wow.
And then after that, we're just waiting on the architect, structural engineer, and Dean to come and fix the things that he needs to do.
Have you talked to Dean?
We'll call him when we get on the road.
All right. Cool. Seriously. Man, they're so big. We haven't seen moose up here in a long time. Normally when it's the middle of winter and the snow is really high, they go down to lower elevations so they can scavenge and forage for food, and it's a sign of spring that there's a moose up here, and it's so majestic looking. Look at that. Just eating twigs. It's crazy an animal so big relies on twigs and berries.
Doesn't make any sense. He's eating snow. Look.
Staying hydrated. Hi, buddy. All right, see you later.
Yeah, but you can like reverse here and then you can like get it up.
Oh.
And
Look at this, Trent. You know what that means?
With a nice crust.
That's another sign of spring.
Oh yeah. The grill masters are coming out.
Overstock? Does that mean those ones are free?
That would be nice.
Oh, we need the elbows.
Oh yeah, the ducting elbows. I think it's this way.
In HVAC?
All right, well, that was a pretty fun time there at Home Depot. We've got all the things that we need to finish the punch list except for the things that Dean needs to do and the things that the architect needs to do. And I just got an email from the architect, and I think he said it would be like 8 days before they would have
Cool.
the information to us that we need to give to the inspector. So next week we'll be able to send that to them, and I already have the truss stuff for the inspector, so we just got to do all the stuff that we have right now, and then I got to call Dean. So I'm gonna call Dean right now.
Yo, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Just putting the furnace together.
Tomorrow and the following day, we're gonna be able to knock out pretty much the rest of the punch list. And the day after that, Dean is coming up to help us finish his portion of the like HVAC punch list that we need to have done. We have to put a test line in the gas line so they can test the pressures. He's gonna help us do all of that stuff. So I think right now we could probably call for a re-inspection on Tuesday.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes, maybe.
Let's make it Wednesday. Just give us 1 day buffer.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that. I wanna put the pressure on.
Okay.
You know? So hopefully we can get that done, and by next Tuesday we can have a re-inspection that passes. So then we'll just have, like, you know, probably 2 solid weeks of insulating.
Okay.
And then we'll be done insulating except for the spray foam that's gonna go in, and it's not gonna go in for a while. So things are happening.
All right, we're in the same spot as we were yesterday.
Oh, well, we don't have 1,000 pounds of insulation in the bed, so makes a little difference.
How you doing? What's that? What is that?
All right, guys, so I am really grateful that we got all of our stuff from Home Depot. Now we've got everything we need to finish our punch list. Well, everything except for the stuff from Dean and from the architect, but all the things on our plate, we've got.
Yeah, it's exciting. And I think in the next video, we're gonna finish them all.
I hope so. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed coming along on today's adventure, make sure you show us by giving us a big thumbs up on today's video. Consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already.
Thank you guys, we love you.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Adios.
When you're alive.